When you first learn to drive, society puts you through a rigorous vetting process. You sweat through a high-stakes road test with a state trooper. If you drive recklessly, the state will swiftly revoke your privilege to get behind the wheel. But that same plastic ID card that the state can invalidate for a speeding ticket still grants you unconditional, lifelong access to purchase alcohol at any grocery or liquor store in the country. This chart compares annual fatalities in the United States. In 2022, automobile accidents claimed about 43,000 lives. That same year, alcohol killed 178,000 Americans. A person who loses their driver's license for multiple drunk driving offenses can still walk into a bar, hand over that legally restricted card, and buy enough liquor to drink themselves to death. Our laws protect the machine that might kill you, while treating the chemical more likely to kill you as an unconditional consumer right. This disconnect creates a system where dangerous substances are easier to access than a steering wheel. Zooming out from alcohol to the broader landscape of addictive drugs shows exactly how poorly our current public health strategies are working. Looking at this area chart, you can see the sheer financial mass of the addiction industry. Covering alcohol, tobacco, and opioids, it generates an estimated $858 billion a year. That's over 5% of the U.S. GDP, dwarfing the $70 billion auto industry. Overlaying the fatality data reveals the cost. In 1990, the U.S. saw 4,500 fatal overdoses. By 2021, that number spiked to 107,622. Standard public health tools like sin taxes and FDA regulations haven't slowed this down. Because these substances are sold through frictionless, high-speed retail markets, the industry can expand faster than medical treatments can save people. If medical and criminal models can't stop the industry's growth, the only remaining lever is to break the ease of the transaction. To slow the death rate, the state must introduce deliberate, mandatory friction at the point of sale. Dr. Brian Johnson proposes a structural shift. We stop treating alcohol as a right and reclassify it as a privilege that must be earned and maintained. Under this system, turning 21 wouldn't automatically let you buy beer. You would apply for an alcohol purchase license, which requires an educational course on blood alcohol levels and a motivational interview to ensure you understand the risks of addiction. This license would be revoked for 5 years if you are convicted of a second DWI, commit domestic violence while intoxicated, or are hospitalized for severe alcohol-related complications like liver failure or withdrawal seizures. To enforce this, doctors, nurses, and police officers would act as mandated reporters, logging these offenses directly into a state-banned drinker registry. This creates a mandatory timeout. By stripping the ability to simply buy a quart of vodka on the way home from the hospital, the state physically disrupts the daily cycle that keeps severe alcoholism alive. A licensing system only works for legal products. To handle the illicit market, the state has to address the cartels that profit from prime-risk, high-reward street sales. The strategy is for the government to forcibly take over the supply chain by opening state addictive drug centers, or SAD centers. These centers would provide pharmaceutical-grade, measured doses and observed injection sites. By offering a safer, controlled alternative for those already addicted, the state removes the scarcity and risk that street dealers rely on to inflate their prices. To discourage new users, the government would use clinical, unglamorous branding. Advertisements for state-brand superheroin would feature bleak warnings about how the drug is designed to destroy your brain so the state can harvest your money. When the state provides the product at cost with direct medical oversight, the street dealer's profit margin vanishes. Without a way to make money, the black market infrastructure for that drug has no reason to exist. History shows us that prohibition creates violent cartels, while totally unregulated free markets create an endless supply of consumer victims. Currently, the public pays $250 billion a year for the medical and social fallout of alcoholism, while private companies keep the profit. Under this model, the state uses the revenue from drug sales to directly fund the treatment services that the industry itself necessitates. By instituting purchase licenses and state-run distribution, we can build a protective safety net around vulnerable populations who are currently exploited by an $858 billion industry. By destroying frictionless access and eradicating marketing glamour, society can finally regulate addictive substances with the exact level of caution they inflict on the human brain.